Hey guys, Dr. Kyle Loveless here with Queen City Health Center and The Wellness Way. Hey, if you're watching this video today, I know that you must be dealing with some sort of a fatigue or just lack of energy in general. And I can tell you, I've been there before myself where it was just like I didn't even want to get out of bed at times, and it's not the way to live life. So this video today is going to be amazing for you. I'm going to give you 5 things to do to start to support your adrenals so that you can help recover from being in this chronic fatigue state. Hey, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Also make sure that you hit the notifications button, and that'll make sure that you get notified whenever we put new videos out, which we will be doing on a regular basis. Finally, if you haven't read the inflammation ebook yet that I put out, you're gonna love it. Make sure that you get that. That'll be in the links below. Understanding inflammation, 10 ways to find out if you're inflamed, and then 10 ways or 10 actual things you can do about being inflamed to reduce that inflammation. All right, guys, let's talk about energy and let's talk about how to support your adrenals. This is something that most of the world right now is dealing with adrenal issues and fatigue. And I know that because if you look at any store, it is packed full of caffeinated beverages of all types. Energy drinks have become probably one of the best selling drinks out there. You look at a Starbucks line and it's out down the road. And so we absolutely are dealing with an energy loss crisis in our world today. And there's some things you can actually do about that. So I'm gonna give you 5 things today on what you can do to change your energy. Get your energy back and restore the body, because the truth is if you're lacking energy on how you feel, it's affecting everything else too. You're gonna have a suppressed immune system, it's affecting your hormones, even digestion is being affected if your energy levels are low. That's just the energy is kind of like, or low energy is kind of like the sign that there's a problem somewhere else. So let's talk about that today. Number one thing to do to actually increase your energy levels is stop draining your adrenals. You have to actually stop the stressor. It's kind of like someone that wants to get stronger and wants to work out, but they don't quit eating things that deteriorate muscles like sugar and things like that, and they want to get bigger, but then they never work out. So you have to actually do the things that are not going to beat you up. So number one thing that I'm going to recommend when it comes to stop draining your adrenals is actually what you're putting into your body. So stop caffeinating yourself all day long. If you use caffeine all day long, you're gonna have adrenal failure over time. It's just a constant stimulation on the adrenals that the body isn't meant to handle. It's okay if you wanna have a cup of coffee in the morning, that's one thing, but doing it all day long is another. I talk to people, I say, hey, do you drink much coffee? And like, no, not that much. And then you find out it's 3 to 4 a day, and they don't think that's that much. That's a lot of coffee, that's a lot of caffeine. So reduce your caffeine intake, okay? Also, any other stimulants that you're doing, you wanna reduce that as well. And then the next one is sugar. Reduce the amount of sugar that you're eating. That actually is very stressful on the entire body, specifically the adrenals, because your body has to deal with that stress, and that's what the adrenals do. They produce cortisol to help your body handle stress, which unfortunately, more cortisol increases blood sugar as well. So we want to watch out for too much sugar, so reducing that. The next thing that I'm going to recommend on how do you stop draining your adrenals is worry and anxieties and just the stresses of the world. Now, it's easy to say, it's hard to do. So go back and watch our anxiety videos on anxiety and how do you actually start to change that, and how do you start to change worry. Right? There's so many techniques you can use to change how you're seeing the world. This really goes back to your perception and how you're seing things. I always say you could have a scenario where you have two people in the same world living the same life almost, and one's miserable and one loves life. And so you got to look at your perception of that as well. Go back to those videos. We'll continue to shoot videos on that. But it's about looking at your emotional stress and how much drainage that's putting on your body. Okay. The other one we don't think about is physical stress. So if you're sitting at a computer all day long, you're over time going to get weak or tireder and tireder and more fatigue, because this actually sitting, they say sitting is the next smoking, right? If you smoked a pack of cigarettes a day, you're gonna eventually get adrenal fatigue. Hey, if you sit at a desk all day long, highly likely you're also gonna get adrenal fatigue. So make sure you're moving all day long. There's all kinds of techniques you can use for that. Go back and look at the spinal exercise playlist that we have, and all types of spinal exercises. They'll make sure you keep moving all day long, okay? So you gotta keep movement, that's huge. 90% of the stimulation to your brain comes from the movement of the spine. If you don't move it, your brain literally starts to shut down, which directly connects to those adrenals. The last one I want to talk about is too much exercise. Absolutely, get outside, move and exercise, But we're living in a world today where we want to have these great bodies, right? Just look like someone on Instagram or one of these social media sources. And the truth is that you could actually over-exercise. And I see a lot of patients coming in that do it too much. I personally have over-exercised in my life. I know exactly how it feels, and that will bring fatigue as well. A little bit of exercise will support your adrenals and help you. Too much is fatigue. Okay, so the next thing you have to do, number two, so this number one is stop draining your adrenals. Number two is get sleep. If you don't recover, you're gonna break everything down. You can't build a healthy body without sleep. 7 to 9 hours of sleep. If you're feeling like you're in a fatigue mode, make sure you get 9 hours of sleep. Make sure you get in bed, before 10 o'clock at night. And then finally, take a nap every single day. Give your body a chance to rejuvenate. We live in this go, go, go world where it's like you gotta grind it out to be the best in the world. That's just not the truth. That's not how God created us to be. We're meant to be actually recovering so that we can produce and give what He gave us to give, right? But if you don't recover, then it all becomes about being tired all the time, and your ability to do that goes way down. Okay, so make sure you're getting enough sleep. Again, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. For women, you're gonna wanna get more sleep. And unfortunately, in most homes, it's the opposite. The mom or the woman gets less sleep, especially if you're a parent, gets less sleep because of the kids. All right, guys, number 3 is gonna be use adaptogens and supplements that support the adrenals. Adaptogenic herbs and mushrooms are amazing for adrenal support. And what that idea of adaptogen means is it helps you adapt to the stresses in the world today. It helps your body handle those stresses. And so the ones that I like to recommend, there's a lot of good adaptogens out there, I'll just say that up front, but some that are really the most researched, number 1 is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an awesome herb. We sell in our office a liquid version of it and a capsule version of it from the Wellness Way, and it's awesome, very high potency. One of our patients' favorite things to use is ashwagandha. Helps your body support adrenals. One thing I will say though about herbs is that your body tends to get used to them over time, and so after about 3 or 4 months of taking something like ashwagandha, you're going to want to switch it up to something different, maybe something like rhodiola. That's a really good and highly researched adaptogen. Rhodiola is a really good one as well. There's lots of them. Again, the next one that I want to talk about is cordyceps. Now that's a mushroom, and our body doesn't adapt quite the same to mushrooms. So cordyceps is a very strong adaptogen that's been highly researched as well and has lots of health benefits. So taking something like cordyceps or other mushrooms that are adaptogenic is a very, very good idea on a regular basis. The final one that I'm going to talk about today isn't an adaptogen as much as it is a support system for your adrenals. So we know that if you take something, that we know that in the world of health, that like helps like. So if you eat liver, it's going to help your liver. If you eat heart, it's going to help your heart. So you can actually take a supplement of adrenal cortex, okay? And we use this supplement from the Wellness Way as well, called the Adrenal Cortex, and it's something that you take on a regular basis. It doesn't necessarily something you take every day for the rest of your life, but maybe 2 to 3 times a week. If you're very fatigued, maybe every day, and work your way down to less often, but it's something that's really good at supporting your adrenals. All right, guys, number 4, I'm not very good at this number thing. All right, guys, number 4, when it comes to supporting the adrenals and overall just energy in general, is look at how is your immune system doing. If it's constantly being beat up or knocked on, it's going to be suppressed, which it puts a ton of stress on your body. So supporting your immune system is number 4. 2 herbs, or 1 herb and 1 root that I really enjoy, I really like a lot for supporting the immune system is astragalus. You hear me talk about astragalus all the time. It's probably my favorite herb, and that it's so impactful for the entire body, specifically the kind of the core of the immune system, but it's also good for your liver. It's an adaptogenic herb. It's really good for your body. So astragalus is the one you want to go with, and we use a liquid one again from the Wellness Way. Turmeric is my other one, and I love turmeric. I take that twice a day, and I've probably taken that on a regular basis most of the last 3 or 4 years. And there's very few patients that I don't recommend them taking turmeric, because it helps your body. It helps your DNA, it helps your telomere strength, but it also helps your immune system to be strong. It helps your body handle inflammation properly. Really good root and potency is important. And for many years, we've been talking about, hey, you need black pepper and you need healthy fats with turmeric. And that's great. I agree. They help absorb that turmeric very well. But here's the problem. A lot of people are allergic to black pepper. We do food allergy IgG testing, and most people have black pepper on there. So be careful. If you don't know what your food allergies are, I would recommend taking it without black pepper. That means a lot of the powder, the sources out there, little supplement forms that people promote, have those things in there. So you want to read that. And then also a healthy fat. Something like coconut oil can be very good. Again, as long as you're not allergic to coconut oil. So you could maybe use fish oil. That could be a different thing you take with when you take your turmeric, because it's fat soluble. Okay, so that turmeric and astragalus are very, very potent and very strong, healthy immune supporters. You're supporting here your adrenals, you're supporting your immune system, you're not draining your adrenals anymore, you're getting enough sleep. And then the very final thing I want to talk about is actually testing, right? So testing and saying, hey, what are my adrenals doing? All right, my favorite test for adrenal health is the Dutch test. It's a 4-point adrenal test that tells you 4 times throughout the day what your adrenals are doing, because different parts of the day your adrenals should be doing something different. When you wake up, boom, you need that spike of cortisol from your adrenals to wake you up. That's like your shot of coffee, which is why if you're waking up all exhausted, what do? You go get some caffeine as fast as you can. If you're still exhausted after that caffeine, you got yourself an adrenal problem. But so that cortisol should pump out, right? And that cortisol then will convert to cortisone to reduce the inflammation that built up in the night from your body recovering. Pretty cool that our body always knows what to do, isn't it? So testing, the Dutch test will tell us, are you crashed? What do we need to do? How do we have to change your life to make sure we get you out of crash zone? Or are you way up top, way stressed, so bad that to the point that it's going to eventually be crashed, right? And so this allows you to look at it and say, okay, I have some lifestyle changes that need to be made here. I need to take some things to help support my adrenals, get some more sleep, and do all the things that I talked about before, okay? So that Dutch hormone test, if you want that test, again, just connect with us from the information below. We'll make sure we get that in your hands and even go over it with you if we need to as well afterwards. But finally, guys, make sure if you haven't read the inflammation ebook, get that. That'll be in the links below. Click the notifications button, click the subscribe button so you can get all of our videos as we're constantly putting those things out. You guys have an awesome day.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to connect with us and learn more, we're constantly shooting videos. We actually have a blog as well, and we have a website where you can learn so much more. If you want help with your health, you can actually connect with us, come into our clinic, or jump on a phone call with us and see if we can help you. To do that, go to the links below in the information area and click those areas, and then you can move forward and see how we can actually address and help you with your health issues as well.